Hi guys, Dr. Tobisch here again with Whitefish Chiropractic. And if you constantly feel nagging stiffness and tension in your mid-back between your shoulder blades, this is going to be a great video for you. Honestly, these symptoms are so common, and a huge driving force behind them are the positions and postures that we spend most of our time in. It's just a fact that a lot of us spend a little too much time in these poor positions where we're slouched forward, working on a computer, driving a car, looking down at a phone. So we end up in these positions where our hands, our shoulders, and our head start to get out in front. We're constantly getting crushed by gravity, so we're basically just stuck in this position. So to start getting rid of some of that stiffness in our mid-backs, we need to deliberately move the joints of our thoracic spine and our rib cage in these other planes of motion like rotation and extension to keep the joints moving freely, keep the muscles nice and loose. So next up, I'm going to show you some simple exercises that you can do at home to start doing just that. All right guys, first thing we're going to look at to start loosening up the mid-back is going to be some foam rolling. So set the foam roller underneath you, give yourself a hug, and we're going to start rocking up and down the foam roller, trying to force some motion into those stiff joints. So like I said, give yourself a hug, start kind of rolling up and down the foam roller. Find those stiff spots. When you find those ones that aren't moving, stop there and just kind of repetitively extend your spine over the foam roller. 4 or 5 times, work motion into those stiff spots, then keep rolling. From there, you can go into some of the muscles between the spine and the shoulder blade. So if I'm going to work my right side, I can rotate to the right a little bit, start reaching my arm out and across, and kind of get into those muscles between the shoulder blade and the spine. Same thing, find those stiff, tender spots and kind of roll around and work some of that stiffness out of those muscles. Like I said before, I wouldn't really shoot for sets and reps. I just kind of go until things start to loosen up. Next thing we're going to look at is going to be a seated thoracic rotation mobilization. So to get started, all you need is something that you can sit down on. From here, the direction that we're going to rotate towards, take that foot and kick it over the other one. So I'm going to rotate to the left. So we're going to take your fingers, lace them behind your head. From here, I'm going to rotate to the left until I kind of feel some resistance or some tension. I'm going to dip my elbow over to the left till I feel a big stretch over here. Come back to the middle. I'll do another one. Come back to the middle. Now I'm going to do 2 huge breaths into my belly, really trying to expand my rib cage. So 2 huge breaths, then try to rotate a little further. Do that 2 to 3 times each way. The last exercise we're going to look at is going to be a thoracic car or controlled articular rotation, which just means we're going to be doing big, slow, controlled circles, really exploring all of the motion in the mid-back. So to get started, we'll just have you give yourself a hug. From here, you're going to start to round your spine forward, then you'll rotate all the way to one side, bend to that side, start to extend, and then tip to the other side where you're going to come around and finish your circle. In any of the points as you're making your circle in one direction, if you feel a lot of stiffness or tension in one of those areas, feel free to stop there, work on some deep breathing, almost like you're breathing into that stiff spot, then you can continue with your circle. I do 2 circles clockwise and 2 counterclockwise.